What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Own It with me, your host, Samantha Warren. And today we are going to talk about you truly owning it and not being this quiet, unassuming, humble expert, but actually owning the spotlight, owning your expertise, owning your authority, and how to go from the best kept secret to the one that people know, hire, want to work with, follow, and you truly are embodying this next level of thought leadership. So, if you're new here, I am really excited to welcome you. If you are an OG, I'm excited to have you back. And really, the show is for you if you are an expert, an educator, a founder, an entrepreneur, a leader who really is looking to step into much deeper thought leadership and also more power, more conviction in building a brand, building a business around your voice, not around a random set of offerings. Okay. I've spent the last 8 to 10 years building a brand and building a name for myself and building a voice. And I'm here to really peel back the curtain and show you exactly how to do this, to what to do, what to avoid, the common pitfalls that I see in my clients so that you can accelerate that process, right? And one of the main things that I see is that a lot of women and men, but I will say mostly this pattern shows up with women. Women come to me and they feel like they are invisible. They feel like they are being overlooked. And they feel like they know they have so much good shit to share, but they're not getting seen. They're not visible. They're not growing the business exponentially and feeling like they're at a plateau. And if this is you, this episode is going to show you the root cause of this because believe it or not, so much of what's happening in your leadership and in your business and in your brand is actually a result of unhealed and worked through childhood patterns. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. So the first thing to notice is that you are not being overlooked or you are not invisible because you are unqualified. You are being overlooked because you are being quiet. And what that actually means is that you are really, really good at what you do, but because you have this pattern, which is from childhood, of this humility and don't want to take up too much space and don't want to be too bold and don't want to be too direct and don't want to be too whatever, you are hiding. And you are actually avoiding the spotlight, even though you want it so badly. And so there's this inner turmoil, this inner conflict that's happening between multiple parts of you. And if you're nodding your head right now and you're like, oh my God, this is literally me, I want you to know that I am sharing this because I have been there. I know what it's like to feel this way. I understand. And all of the clients that have worked with me or still work with me have come to me with this. So just know that you're not alone. This is such a common problem with female founders and experts and educators. It's not just a you thing. So there's no shame in it, but you need to understand that it is a real thing. It's happening and it is cock blocking your next level. So we're going to talk first about the difference between being underqualified and underexpressed. Now, you're likely listening to the show because you actually are an expert and you need someone to help extract that expertise out of you, extract your genius, extract your message, help you build out the next level of your brand, whatever that looks like. And it's not that you're not qualified. It's truly that you are underexpressed. You have the expertise, you have the embodiment, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom. You've been in the game for quite some time, but there is a level of you holding yourself back in your expression that is cockblocking you. And until you understand why you are doing that, which we're going to uncover today, you will keep hitting this glass ceiling where you're like, what the fuck? You're going to hit an upper limit of frustration and you're going to hit an upper limit of visibility. Now, let's talk about this. So, why is this even happening in the first place? Your childhood conditioning deeply, deeply impacts how you online, in your business, with your voice, on your podcast, wherever you are in the world. And whether you realize this or not, it is running the show. Your childhood is running your business right now, unless you have done the work to go into your childhood and uncover what are all these sneaky little sabotaging patterns that are holding me back from my fullest visibility. Now, when I say this, what I mean is things like wanting to keep the peace, wanting to stay quiet, wanting to earn love through performance, wanting to be perfect, wanting to not ruffle feathers, wanting to not piss people off, wanting to speak to everyone, wanting to help everyone, people pleasing patterns. All of these things result in adult invisibility, which will then cockblock your business's visibility because you are the front face of your brand. If you have been trying to stay behind the scenes, I don't want to take up too much space. I don't want to sell. I don't want to talk about what I do. I don't want to be too much. I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to be too salesy. If you have those beliefs, guess what? You will hide yourself. You will hide yourself and it will not end up good because the thing that you want is the thing you're avoiding. And so you have competing parts going on, right? So likely there's some childhood stuff that you have not fully made peace with, and you are still playing out those sneaky, playing small patterns from childhood in adulthood, and it's just showing up in your business. It might be showing up in your relationships. Likely it is. Typically, when clients come to me, they come to me to grow their businesses and their brands and their podcasts, but we end up finding all the other areas of their life where they're not fully expressed. They're not asking for what they want. They're scared to be too much. Everything is everything. Your business is just a mirror for everything else in your life. So likely your childhood conditioning is still running the show. And I know that for me, it was for so long because I didn't realize that that was the issue. I thought it was a business issue. Sometimes it is, but the business issue usually is rooted in a personal issue. So just for you to note, yeah, it's not really the business problem, it's a you problem. And so we're going to get to the root of that by uncovering what are these childhood conditioning patterns. This is something that we are going to be doing to uncover the root cause, and actually get you out into the world and get you visible, wildly visible, and really truly owning the spotlight in my upcoming 3-month, 90-day Thought Leader Accelerator. I'm going to be sharing more about that at the end of this episode, but it's something that you all have been kind of curious about, wanting to step deeper into thought leadership. And so I have put together a 90-day accelerator, which is the culmination of the last 5 or 6 years of all the work that I've done with my clients, packaged beautifully and structured in a great way to help you go from kind of best kept secret to true authority, visible, owning the spotlight, knowing your message and speaking it clearly. So we'll talk about that later. So let's go back to this. We have the childhood conditioning. You keep the peace, you stay quiet, you don't want to be a know-it-all, you don't want to be too much, you don't want to be in people's face. You don't really own what you know in your lived experience. And it's part of the reason why I named my show Own It. It's you really truly need to own how great you are. And the ego is going to come up and I don't want to be cocky or I don't want to be overconfident. Well, that is cock blocking you. And so you just have to recognize like you got to do what you got to do to be successful, to have a voice, to become a thought leader, to step truly into your leadership in your brand. These are obstacles that you need to move through. There is no avoiding it at all. There's truly a deep emotional cost with being respected privately but not known publicly. And I know this because I was this. I can say right now I'm not that. I feel like I'm in an incredible place where I have a public figure. I have people know me and I also am respected privately. And so when those two things are congruent, things feel really good. But when you know how good you are, but the outside world doesn't know that or is not validating that or doesn't, your brand or your business or your leadership is not growing, there's a disconnect and it's likely because you are sabotaging yourself, right? So that brings me to the next point, which is visibility is not a personality trait, right? Like typically a lot of people that are supposed to be in the spotlight have issues around being seen and being heard. There was likely something in your childhood or maybe multiple things in your childhood where you were not seen and heard. And so you carried that into your adulthood and then you want to heal those patterns and you're going to do that through your body of work, through the legacy that you're building. And until we can really clear those patterns, you will continue to sabotage your own visibility and your own voice and the legacy that you're here to leave, right? You'll come up with other excuses. It'll show up like procrastination or avoidance or resistance or distraction or shiny object or whatever. But until you can really be in your own voice and leadership and own that, you are going to have a hard time getting yourself out into the world, growing the thing that you want to grow because there's going to be a disconnect between what you know and who you're actually being, right? Visibility is a skill. It's a practiced skill. When I started, posting on Instagram back in 2016, I was terrified because I was like, oh my God, all the people around me are going to judge me. Oh my God, what are people going to think? Oh my God, who do I think I am? Oh my God, I know, blah, blah. Imposter syndrome, all these things, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear, so much fear. And at one point, I just bit the bullet and I just started committing to it, just started committing to showing up, leveraging my expertise, sharing what I knew, learning from others, sharing what I assimilated from then, teaching it, etc. And then I started to build my own thought leadership. And then I started to build my own body of work and my own perspective and my own thoughts on this is actually what I believe, or this is in my lived experience, this is what I'm here to share, right? And so right now, if you are thinking, "Oh, it's just I'm not born with it." No, it's a skill. It's actually a skill. It's like lifting weights. You get better and better and stronger at lifting weights the more that you do it. And so if you avoid the visibility that's required, well then you're going to have a really hard time growing the thing that you want to grow and being seen in that, right? So I want to give you some simple first moves to stop being the best kept secret. And this is what we're going to go into so deeply in the Thought Leader Accelerator, because I have this intake form basically, and it's like, I don't know, 30 or 40 questions. It's really intense, but it helps me and you get to the meat of your core message, what you're really here to share and do, what your real genius and expertise is, who you are really here to help, and where and what platforms you should be on based on where that market is, right? And right now, if you are hiding on a platform where you're just not showing up, you're not showing face, you're not using your voice, you're not leveraging platforms like a podcast or YouTube or TikTok or other things that use your voice, there is no opportunity for people to get to know you, trust you, like you, and want to follow you or buy into what you have to say and share and believe. You need to have your own thoughts. It's no longer going to work to be a vanilla recycled version of what everyone else is saying. You need to say the things that you would be saying offline to your people. And this is going to require you to have many ego deaths for you to actually say, oh shit, like my brand voice is maybe more vulgar or more direct or more whatever it is than you maybe thought it was going to be. And it's okay. Like, you really just have to own your natural brand voice and stop trying to be more professional than you actually are. Stop trying to be less filtered or less this or more that. Because at the end of the day, you need to be you. You need to be you and you need to share the unique message that you came here to share. That is what being a thought leader truly is having original thoughts. And your original thoughts might be influenced by a lot of people that you've consumed. If you can see my bookshelf in the back, I have read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of books on business and creativity and artistry and self-connection and all of the amalgamation of the work that I teach now, which is all about voice and visibility, owning the mic, owning the spotlight, really you being seen in your power. And what does that actually mean? What does that bring up? It brings up vulnerability. It brings up fear of rejection. It brings up fear of judgment. It brings up all these normal human things. It's one of the things that Steve and I talked about on one of our last episodes, where I'm helping him go from zero following to growing this podcast and growing his brand and his thought leadership. Is it's the first time he was doing something like that. And he's now bringing that to life. And even as a man with an established business career, he was still feeling that. And so it's normal. I want to let you know it's very normal, but just because it's normal doesn't mean it's an excuse or a reason to not do it. If anything, it's a reason to lean in, to get vulnerable, to face your fears, to go all in, right? And so again, going back to the start of this, you're not overlooked because you're not qualified. It's not a matter of imposter syndrome or even, oh, I need to go get more certifications. No, that's not it. I can't tell you the amount of people that I see just trying to get and accumulate more and more and more and more evidence and external evidence, external certifications to help them feel ready enough to go do the thing they really want to do. And I'm telling you, that's a lot of money that you could be making. But truly, like, it's a lot of time and energy and money that it's like, why are you doing that? Right. And so it's not that you're underqualified. It's truly that you aren't being vocal enough about who you are, what you do, what your offer, and what your core message is. truly everything comes down to your message. Everything comes down to your message. And if you don't know your message, if you feel like you're just kind of like posting random things or creating random content, or you're not creating anything, or you're overthinking everything, your message is the first thing that you really need to dial in, because once you have that message, everything else stems off of that. The offers that you have, the brand partnerships or the collaborations, the podcast, the brand identity, the visuals, the photos, like literally everything comes from that core message. So if you don't know what your core message is and you don't know where to start, I really encourage you to apply for the Thought Leader Accelerator. This is for you if you're an expert, an educator, a founder. You're somebody who's been in the game for a bit, but you know that you are not operating at the level that you are here to truly operate. You are here to be a one of one. You are here to be a leading voice. You are here to be a thought leader. Ultimately, it's why it's called Thought Leader Accelerator. The 90-day experience with me, really deep dive immersive. All the information will be in the show notes of this episode. So if you have questions, report them there. This is really going to take you from best kept secret to visible thought leader. Everything from visibility strategy, brand identity, brand message, the platforms that you should be on, the market, the promise, like literally your entire brand ecosystem and what that means for you as you step into the spotlight and own that and get visible and really build something that can impact the masses and stop relying on you, maybe more one-on-one or even in smaller groups. It's really you getting your voice out there, getting your message out there, and building a brand around your voice. So if this is resonating, definitely go check out the page, the application. We are likely going to be starting in mid-January. I'm still working out those details, but it's a great experience and way to work with me in this intimate container, to really bring that thought leadership to life. So again, you are not being overlooked because you're underqualified. I can't even tell you the amount of clients that come to me and they're doctors and they're been in the industry for 10, 20, 30 years, and they're still feeling like they don't know enough for whatever reason. It's actually just because we need to position you, get you out into the world, get you visible, build up that confidence, and really build your own thought leadership and make your brand, your visual brand, and also the actual brands, like the meat of the brand, really reflect that. So again, if this is resonating and you want to become part of this first cohort of the Thought Leader Accelerator, please head to the show notes or head to my Instagram or head to my website, voiceandvisibility.com. You will find all the information there. I can't wait to have you join us, and I will see you on the next week's episode. Okay, bye.